Reasons why. First, gratitude. My daughter Adrian was 15. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, "Mom, if you hadn't raised me Unitarian Universalist, I don't know what I would do." She was in high school dealing with kids who were being racist, using words like faggot. And her UU values enabled her to stand up and speak out. Those kids learned that at least when they were with her, she couldn't talk that way. They couldn't talk that way. My daughter Sarah is 17. This year, for school's third day, a group of seniors decided to depart from the innocuous theme that was chosen by the school and come to school for Mexican Monday. They dressed not only in sombreros, but they brought cleaning supplies and pretended to be janitors and housemaids, or they dressed like border guards, and they talked about illegals and made jokes with horse words. Sarah's outrage and passion gave her the courage to go to the principal and share her sorrow, her rage at this practice. And in part due to her appeal, the people were sent home and required to change and discipline. Without Mom, my daughters and my son would not know that they are part of a community of shared values that shores them up even when they are there are one of the only 2 or 3 UU kids in the school. So, gratitude. Second reason, self-indulgence. I'm a lawyer and I really love it. But like everyone, I took many turns on my way to deciding what I wanted to do for a living. When I was 16 or 17, I thought I would want to maybe be a minister. I loved creating worship for my youth group. I always wrote the youth Sunday sermon. Maybe because I was the oldest of 4 children, I loved teaching and explaining things. I loved drawing and painting and other creative work. I actually thought I might be a poet or a writer of poetry and essays mostly, but I also loved storytelling. I loved to sing, and I thought about theater as a career. I was also raised in UU and have a deep frustration and anger at social injustice. I spent time abroad as a child, and I love languages, so my goals of justice, equity, and compassion embrace the whole world. So I thought of being a diplomat or a politician. So I left a lot of dreams behind. You can't follow them all. Or can you? I'm not a minister, but here at MUF, thanks to your kind indulgence, I can create and share and participate in worship here and with my 5th and 6th graders and junior high kids in RE. I'm not a teacher, but here at MUF, you've trusted me with your children and their faith development. I'm not an author, but here at MUF, I have opportunities such as this one to write, share my creations, and to develop performance art that becomes worship. I'm not a diplomat or government official, but here at MUF, I can touch the international stage as your envoy to the UUA United Nations office. It's almost embarrassing. I gave up all these different ways I could have become me. I didn't make the sacrifices it takes to become a writer or an artist, or endure the hard slogging it takes to become a diplomat, to get a teaching certificate. Instead, I come here and I pick one of this and one of that, and I can do it, and people say thank you. Wow. Very cool. And thank you all for the opportunity. So I couldn't really be me without a place like MUF. And now through an extraordinarily democratic process, we had come to a decision to stay and a realization that we must now pay back our founders' investment. We have to fix and grow our beloved mansion to fit our congregation, to accommodate differently abled folks, to make the building safe and welcoming for all and for our future. I want this. We all want this. We voted so. But I have to say, my reaction to the idea of a capital campaign to raise $3 million was probably no different than most of yours. How can we do that? So that brings me to the final why. Because that's how it's done, folks. One of my best friends is wrapping up work on a capital campaign for her Catholic parish. We've compared notes. This isn't magic. It's how it's done. Several hundred people, one person at a time, realizing this place is part of who each of us is or wants to or might become. It's what we want for our children, for our community. We owe it to ourselves to take responsibility and pay for what we use. All I've done is what we all need to do. Figure out what you really can do without for the next 3 years, what you can spare from what you've saved, from what you have. Squeeze it out somehow because there's no other way this can happen. And every other church or temple or mosque gets the money the same way. One joyous sacrificial gift at a time.